Call the honourable member for Bowman.
Deputy Speaker, I'm devastated by last week's Therapeutic Goods Administration decision to continue the ban on e-cigarettes. Now, everyone here would know that 2/3 of Australians who smoke are helped to an early grave, not just by carcinogens, not just by toxins, but increasingly in a nation where we will not contemplate alternatives where the rest of the world does. Now, New Zealand put us to shame this week by legalising e-cigarettes. The UK has openly trialled them and even developed locations for vaping around hospitals, and the USA, though freely available as they are, across the EU. For those who don't realise in the gallery, these are small implements with nicotine solution that recreates the sense of smoking and delivers nicotine without any of the harmful effects. Now, I can appreciate the primum non nocere notion that we first do absolutely no harm, but surely if you're going to ban e-cigarettes, how can you possibly collect the evidence? We have the rest of the developed world recognising that we can lower enormous amounts of years lost due to smoking by turning to these devices. 68% of smokers will tell you they'd do it if it was at a similar price or less. 3/4 of Australians in surveys know that they will contemplate this as an alternative. Now, I'm not about to tell you that there's just no other concerns with nicotine solution. Surely if a child drinks a litre of it, that would be a problem. Yes, if it touches your skin, it can be absorbed. I mean, this is the case with every drug that we have at our disposal. It has benefits and it has risks. But it's the Royal College of Physicians, perhaps, we should be listening to. This august group in the UK, where clearly vaping is not the enemy of the state that it is in Australia, said provision of the nicotine that smokers are addicted to, without the harmful components of tobacco smoke, can prevent most of the harm from smoking. And I add in my own italics, without a single cent's cost to the taxpayer. I mean, we spend billions trying to combat smoking, and here is a ready alternative available to the Australian public. But no. What we'll do is suppress it, continue this ban purely on this argument of lack of evidence. So the result is mislabelling of this product, selling it away from the free market, selling it in the black market, importing it from overseas. For goodness sake, we're not talking about cocaine. We're talking about nicotine. We've redesigned the system again. We'd have no cigarettes and no e-cigarettes, but that is not how it is. We have millions of Australians addicted who need something at their disposal other than a patch. This recreates the sense of having a cigarette. It's reasonably socially acceptable in every other country, every other wealthy country, except Singapore. That's right. So we're lining ourselves up with the absolute prohibition model of Singapore, and many times I'll come in here, Deputy Speaker, and spoken about the benefits of Singapore. But we are talking about a massive public health battle. We are talking billions spent not just in prevention, but in trying to save the lives inside the walls of hospitals. And I've seen it for myself as an eye surgeon, treating people with a life of smoking who suffer the cataracts, the macular degeneration, even the glaucoma, all of which has smoking-related impacts. I don't want to see another person going blind if I can avoid it. I don't want to see another person going to an early grave if we can avoid it. These things are already in the market, simply not available. We need a TGA that doesn't take an absolute no-risk approach. We need a balanced approach to this. But surely, with a black ban, you can't even do the trials. The College of Physicians said, having reviewed all the research in this area, I mean, it's great, isn't it, Deputy Speaker? They've done the evaluation, the research for our TGA, and they came to the conclusion that e-cigarettes are one of the most useful aids to quitting, and that the hazard to health arising from e-cigarette use is unlikely. Now, please remember this, after I'm long gone, the dangers of e-cigarettes are less than 5% of the dangers of smoking. 19 out of 20 net benefit gain, and we cannot get a trial in this country. Look, there's some very smart people on Therapeutic Goods Authority. Deputy Speaker, I'm not advocating for civil disobedience, and I'm not telling smokers to put their packs above their heads, go down and picket the joint, but it's time we had a more open approach to data and evidence. And it's time we had a trial like this, because I don't want to relive the 5 years where we fought against medical cannabis, only to have this eureka moment and now discover we shouldn't have taken this attitude that the evidence is not complete. Well, you know what? The evidence will never be complete as long as we ban something that is already broadly available. We should be more open to work with our supermarkets, with our points of sale, and through education on the public health groups to make sure that vaping is possible in Australia. It's already there. We should stop turning a blind eye and work to beat the scourge of smoking together.